While it took months to convince anyone that their planned animation would work,
A Screen Gems presentation.
eventually Screen Gems spent $10,000 to see a sample cartoon about a dim-witted dog named Ruff and his cat companion, Reddy.
Get set, get ready. Here comes Rough and Ready. They're tough but steady, always rough and ready.
Screen Gems sold the samples to NBC as a series, and the Hanna-Barbera empire was born.
The biggest show in town is Huckleberry Hound.
The boys quickly developed the Huckleberry Hound show.
The biggest clown in town is Huckleberry.
Huckleberry Hound's success was so amazing that minor characters who appeared on the show were quickly spun off.
Kellogg's, your best choice in cereals, the best to you each morning, has brought you, who else? Yogi Bear.
By 1961, the team was turning out over 4,500 minutes of animation a year, including one series they tried in prime time. Until then, something unheard of for television animation.
Flintstones, meet the Flintstones.
Basically a prehistoric version of the Honeymooners, and costing $65,000 an episode, the Flintstones became the most expensive half hour on television. It was also a groundbreaking success.
Through the courtesy of friends to meet.
The demand from sponsors that Hanna-Barbera give them more primetime series that pulled in adult audiences along with children resulted in 2 more primetime series. But when these costly primetime shows only lasted a season because they did not share the same success as the prehistoric Bedrock family, TV's cartoon wonderkind, Hanna-Barbera, seemed to be faltering. Hanna-Barbera were visionary men, though. These were the fellows that, though color TV sets were rare and expensive, had the foresight to create all of their cartoons in color, foreseeing a time when black and white shows would be obsolete and color televisions would be the norm. These were the men that came up with planned animation so cartoon programming would be possible for television. So no one needed to tell Hanna-Barbera that now was the time to look to the future, or that now was the time for another radical departure from what had been. The press release announcing Johnny Quest emphasized exactly that, a radical departure from the funny animals and kiddie fare that this bold new experiment was about to offer Hanna-Barbera. In 1964, the creation of a cartoon series that featured realistic characters and artwork was an unbelievable undertaking. The closest thing up to then had been Clutch Cargo, which superimposed human lips on cartoon faces for each character's dialogue. Hanna-Barbera knew they would need a very different kind of artist to create the show they wanted. The man they chose was comic book legend Doug Wildey. Self-taught, the New York native learned his art, as many did, by studying the masters of the adventure comic strips. Described as independent, outspoken, irascible, and sometimes blunt to the point of rudeness, the bulk of Wildey's early work prior to 1960 was for Atlas, the predecessor to Marvel Comics. He began work there in 1954 and illustrated virtually every genre they then published. Fantasy, horror, crime, romance, and especially westerns. Which is probably why in 1952, Wildey moved his family west to Tucson, Arizona. Over the years, Doug's work became increasingly influenced by cinema, which helped give his drawing a unique quality not often seen in comic books.